Good morning, YouTube. 10:37 a.m. The year of the Lord is 426, 2021. To start with, I probably offended a lot of people, and if I did, y'all got to have an understanding is if I offended you with a word, it wasn't nothing from my heart trying to be a racist. It got nothing to do with that. It is but a damn word. And if I did, somehow, some way, all I can do is apologize for the word. I can't apologize for my feelings because I'm not a racist person. Growing up around it, had uncles that was card-carrying members of the KKK. Watched and heard a whole bunch of different things growing up. Until, like I said, the black gentleman that had his dashiki on, and he was a bean pie eating Muslim, explained to me what that word was. And it wasn't just the word itself and the race of people. Every race has them. So they've even changed it in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I remember as a kid reading what it meant. It was an ignorant fool. That's what it was. Black's Law still stands upon that. Merriam-Webster went in and changed the shit. Then tried to claim that they didn't know what they was talking about. But I do know some people that's got some older Webster dictionaries that term's still in an ignorant fool under nigger. Okay? I can't see anybody being an ignorant fool that's wanting to know anything about what's going on. Okay. I'm just taking some breakfast. I had some ass bullets, some toast, applesauce, and a little bit of grits. Country all the way, so to speak. Okay. I'm also taking my second breakfast, my George Jetson breakfast, all 10 of them, from the heart. At least that's what they tell me it's for. We do a lot of that in our lives, if you think about it. How much are we told all the time about this or that? Even growing up, that's what happened. Okay. The next thing. People like these movie stars, Ron James. I'm sorry. Y'all do not live in the same damn world as the rest of society. You have armed bodyguards running around you 24 hours a day. You have every protection known to man up your ass. Your skin color makes not a shit about anything. You run around and you try to claim things that this is going on, and you're trying to righteously put yourself into a conversation, because if you don't, your white master race won't sign your fucking check. Now, NBA is probably some little Chinese idiot overseas somewhere with a checkbook. But that's what it boils down to. It's like, I'll use LeBron again, okay? Man's multi-millionaire. Okay. He gonna do anything for the black community? Got in there every weekend and start training these young guys how to play basketball. So they have a step up in life that you had. Or let's just say with all the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that you got, go and adopt a family out of one of these ghettos, put them in a real house, help them get educated so they can get out of the mess, okay, that society and the system wants them there, because people don't understand how valuable poor people are to the system. Okay, I'll give y'all my, for instance, okay, living in Virginia, Roanoke, was getting $16 a month food stamps for a single male, okay, under full-blown disability. $16 a month, okay. Just was curious. And I figured I wasn't going to find anything of real significant value until I went and looked it up. Then I was like, I just couldn't believe it. It showed the breakdown from Google, of all places, Google, in my district locality on how much money was being handed down to the food stamp office, the welfare office there in Roanoke, for single males and females, okay. Their health certificates didn't really make a damn, but they was getting somewhere anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 a month. I was getting $16. So don't tell me that the poor people ain't worth money. Went and seen it for myself. And you got these ignorant people that call themselves the awoke crowd and the Hollywood elites going forth in their own style of racism, and that's what they're doing. Instead of them helping the cause, and it would be a whole lot more effective to start having everybody have an understanding. Don't make a fuck who you are here in the United States, with the proper education and the proper not running around with idiots and fools that want to cause problems. I've done went through this myself, so I know this is how it's set up. I know how it works. Young man, teenager, all the way up through my late 20s. Run around, was playing the shadow idiot, the shadow gangster, the shadow bad guy, okay, with a chip on my shoulder. Well, I kept trying to figure out why I kept getting in trouble. Well, it finally dawned on me one day, and I was probably one of the best thieves out there at the time for my young ass age, okay, or at least around where I was at. I can't say I was the Pink Panther type thief, but I was moving up that ladder. Um, uh, I started separating myself from my group of highly educated crook friends. My whole world changed. It depends on who and what you are as a person, an individual, but you can have or accomplish anything in this world. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. Because the ones that actually try to tell you anything different, oh, it's so poor, you come from a poor black neighborhood, or a poor white neighborhood, or a poor Hispanic neighborhood, or poor this, poor that. They're all tools of words. And if the psychobabble gets to the point to where you start believing it, there's many generations sitting in all kinds of these poor motels we call projects. It's basically a Democratic ranch to go get their votes in. That's all it is. You have the power to do anything you wish you want to do in this world. You can't say that because your skin color here in the United States held you back. The only ones that's doing this to you all is the ones y'all keep buying into because you think it's an easier way out. No. If anything, it mucks up the water for you, not them. Because remember, a poor race is worth money. Way more than you could ever realize till you start sitting down and you start figuring it out. It creates money for certain people. And it's buttloads of it. We've been lied to so much, it ain't funny. In every step and respect of any and every kind of words. They'll take something, twist the narrative, make it sound a certain way, make it look a certain way. Then we sit around and we ponder what the hell's going on. It's just like the Trump situation right now. Okay. We all, as far as we know, who the real president is. For the ones that want to keep abiding to the lie, it's going to eventually come out because truth always does. It sucks that it takes a lie can be up, have its pants on, and halfway across the world before the truth gets up and puts its first leg in its britches. But that's how it works. But usually when truth drags its ass up and catches up with the lie can't exist not too much longer after that. So that's a positive. Okay. Been watching an Indian doctor named Dr. Shiva. Dr. Shiva went through some processes with the Trump Justice Department. One of Trump's sons, and some other people that was connected to Trump. For whatever reason, Shiva's got the proof and can prove it. He just needs a little help from the Trump's administration. That's what I'm hearing. Remember, this is being told to me, and I'm making my own logical decision on what I'm hearing. Don't make no sense again to me. If this to be the case, and this man's a doctor, plus some kind of MIT professor that deals in certain types of statistics, and he's done told all of them that with a little bit of the evidence from the Trump side, he could prove everything that Trump needs to prove. But somehow or another, they can't get him what he's asking for. And they're the ones supposedly has it all. So something's wrong with this picture, or logically, it could be another game being played to sway my mind in a different direction. Or Sheba could be right, and it's the same old game being played on us. And if you follow history, you can see it plain as day on how the games are being played and been being played, and how they keep dividing we, the people, because it almost looks and smells like what Sheba's saying is true. Okay? At first I was thinking, now, if that's the case, how is it that if the deep state's so deep after Trump and his family, okay? Here's my 11 o'clock cigarette, people. 1 o'clock's my next. But anyway, if the deep state's so far after Trump and his family, then you got people that's coming, that's been around Trump down there in Mar-a-Lago and his family, said they're running around like there ain't nothing going on. Not scared of a damn thing and happy as a loon. So, you taking these things, you chew on them, you digest them for yourself. I think, to be honest with you, it almost feels like I said I've been saying for months there's something missing. Something don't quite add up. Or then you understand that if we knew, the enemy would know, okay? But if the enemy that's been running this game on us for many, many years, okay, my butt still hurts a little bit. How is it overnight in the last 10 years they've gotten this ignorant? They rule the whole fucking world. They game this whole world. They own this whole world. But overnight they become, last 6, 8 years, 10 years, have become just completely stupid and ignorant on how to keep a hold of the reins. That's hard for me to believe. That would be like thinking that a mob, okay, and that's all this is, what we're seeing. Both sides of this is one way or another a mob. One side, I can see good fruit coming from a tree because it was temporary through Trump and his EOs. Now, how could you do that and not make it something that was going to stay and nobody else could ever mess with? Because he had to prove to the rest of the so-called brain-dead, unawoke people that this was going on. If something don't tell these people by now that they're living in some kind of fantasy, is it up to us to keep trying to wise these people up? I know that's a waste. I've already seen this. They won't take. They use some kind of dumbass science that they claim is science, but when you hand them facts, figures, and real science, they run from it. And then turn around and make up their own rules, regulations, and science, and expect us just to keep buying into it because they told us so. We've been told us so our whole life. That's from grade school up, kindergarten up. Then they use the cops, they use the justice system as an enemy against its own people, okay? Even though I know it's crooked, okay? I've been knowing this for a long time. Been knowing the court systems is no more than a bank. Knowing that things never seem to work out in the manner that it should. There's some other people out here that I believe is on the right track, and I believe this is the only way it's going to really happen, is that we have to stand up and be recognized as we the people and not allow these people to overtake us and overrule us when they're our employees. Okay? They're employed by us. We pay for their steak fucking dinners and their yachts and their extravagant trips overseas to places they shouldn't be sticking their dinglings. We all know what I'm talking about. The no-show, no-go, the dead-headed Joe, it's been proven since he's been in the so-called the office that he's not spent one fucking day in D.C. They had to quit using the movie studios because people, is every time they done some kind of bullshit, pomp and circumstance from one of these movie studios, people was eating that shit alive, was pointing out all the fuck-ups. So they ain't so quite on that no more. So they had to set up little offices throughout wherever. None of these people has been spotted in D.C., period. Hills Harris, any of them. They tried to say that she is going to her house one day, and they had a motorcade with sirens and all kinds of fucking dumb shit, okay? That was just to bring the attention to the bullshit story that she was going somewhere, okay? It never showed her get out of the fucking motorcade. It never showed her going into her home. All right, this is rough on me too, and I'm sure other people have seen and heard and having an understanding that a lot of what we're seeing and hearding is no more than them herding us in a certain direction. And it's getting to be more and more like I said, we're being conned both ways. Sorry. I want the best for all of us. I would rather see the best for all of us. The only good thing about this is God's done one. He knows the inside. He knows the inside straight before this eating got started. So whatever his plan is for all of us would be the outcome of something great. But any of these men or women running around with their foolish fucking ideas and these games they keep fucking playing, and it won't be too much longer, we'll be seeing our brothers from the other mother of the universe flying in and, hey, how you doing? We created y'all. Fuck you. No better. If anything, y'all been here ever since man was fucking created and y'all tried to destroy it. The fallen angels. It even tells us in our good book these things has the ability to become anything they wish themselves to be. So, y'all believe what you want to believe. I don't believe there's no such thing as a fucking alien. And if there was, God created it. I know, oh, you're just closed-minded. Am I? Look at all the muck that goes with a so-called alien. Look at all the bullshit that that had to be created to make this so-called scenario work. Don't tell me that I'm closed-minded when the history behind it had to be made, had to be documented, had to be told. So no, when these things fly down, I can't. I'm gonna just be like I am with a human being until their fruit of their tree smacks me in my face. All I can do is stand back and admire what they're doing and know the whole time that they might not be here for our benefit. Period. I'm not going to be foolish. on that behalf. I can't. But we're also dumber than hell to be thinking that God just created us, but He created all this so-called space and universe not to put something else in it. And then you hear from NASA, these things have been down here on this earth with us ever since man was created. Okay. We think they're coming from outer space with this blah, 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 blah. No, these things was here. And for whatever reason, you can piece it together through the Bible, and it kind of, for me, it makes a whole lot of sense. Some people, it kind of makes sense till they start really digging into it. But no, I can't keep believing in the wishy-washy shit. E.T. was a cute movie, liked it, but like I said, then there's supposedly multiple races, just like we got multiple races. Imagine that. Words are something used in a correct manner is a good thing. Used in a wrong manner is a bad thing. Okay, everything's got a double edge. Everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. They all have two sides. Well, most of them do, outside of what we was told about the coin. Coin actually has three sides. Just a little uncomfortable, people. Sorry. And like I said, I want the best for you all out there and me. I'm a fool not to want that. The betterment of humanity, the human race, the children. Because being the children is the next step up to our old age, and make sure that they stay on a path to where we don't have to be afraid of anything, which we never should have been in the first place, but most of us couldn't understand how conned we was being conned. That's like Snafu. He done an interview with an individual that's 27, 28 years old, lives over there in the Middle East. Guy speaks pretty good English. Out of his 27, 28 years over there in the Middle East, he's yet to see the first fucking bomb or hear one. Y'all want to explain to me how that works? I know how that works. They created the scenario. They told us these people were our enemies. I don't know that man. Okay, I listened to the interview. I understood what was going on, which I've been knowing that for a long time, but this just confirmed it even more so. Because somebody tells you something, we're supposed to automatically believe it. Okay? It's just like the word that I used last time. Negro, there's many different interpretations of it. And it just seems like when I hear it the most right now, it's always the reverse racism coming out of a black person. And most of the people that's the soldiers on the streets, they don't have no clue they're being used. Like I said, there's been many things created to be used against us. The Klan was one of them. That was to keep it going. Black Panthers, another. That was to keep it going. When we as people and society get to the point to where we quit taking sides and have an understanding, either side we take has a negative and a positive and has an agenda in what the hell is being said and done, and we have an understanding because a man's black, woman, black, Chinese, Korean, Middle Eastern, whatever. There's good and bad in every race. And I don't have to be disliking somebody because the media tells me to. I don't know them. I can't put that kind of judgment on an individual because I ain't never met them. That's even a falsehood in itself, to be indoctrinated into your head, to believe something you're told, okay? It would look like you need some kind of education or understanding of the individual before you could conclusionally come to that conclusion. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? Anyway, I'll get off here, y'all. Like I said, I hope we're not being gamed. But it just, more and more of it's coming out. Then you got these foolish idiots in Arizona trying their damnedest in every step of the way to keep building walls against the truth. The judge done recused himself. They was bitching about ink pens, blue and black ink pens. They didn't want to pay $1 million bond, but at the same time, they don't want to see it go forth. I have an understanding. I was a 5-year-old one time when I would lie and try to get out of whatever I was going to get my ass kicked for. That's how I acted. I lied. That's exactly what they're doing. They're lying. They got something to hide. Simple, isn't it? Peace to all y'all. 11:09 a.m. now, and still the same day. Peace.